Good day, everyone, and welcome to day 8 of the Gauntlet 13. And for today's bans, we are seeing Alot, Lapu, Obsidia, and Xbox banned in the lobby, and we are moving right into the drafting phase. So right now we are seeing Shinigami facing off against Xenagouge, which are basically two titans clashing from the same brother squad, now separated and with many clashes to their history. This is just gonna be another battle in this long tourney part of theirs. But right now Shinigami banning out that Clint as their first ban in this drafting phase, which is very peculiar. I'm not really sure if any of the members of Xenagouge come out as that Clint's one trick, but I'm guessing that might have been to face off that Freya. But yeah, that Freya has been banned out by Xenagouge, so we will not be seeing a Freya pick, followed by that Zushin pick coming in right now. It's Zushin ban, I mean. Okay, so we are getting Zushin banned out right off in the first phase of draft. And for the last ban, that's gonna be a Sicilian banned out from the side of Xenagouge. So pretty solid bats. I'd like to see that Freya not get released into the game because that hero is absolutely broken right now. But yeah, that Freya has been banned out, and Kami Levi here for that first pick for SGM. It's gonna be a swap for Vexana. I'm not sure if this is to counter a potential glue pick coming here, or maybe counter a joy pick if they do pick one up. But actually, Absolution locking in that Sora. I believe the Xbox has been banned. And maybe locking in that Valentina to just cancel out any potential counters to that Sora pick, because we do know that that Valentina is very useful versus the Sora. But Joe locking that Minotaur, and we have the next pick. Would Levi be taking his Joy into this game? I don't believe that was banned out in the lobby. No, that's gonna be a Leo mod picked up. And it's Nina's Pookie actually on that Leo mod. Is this gonna be a Leo in the gold lane? We have Rincewind with that Grok.
I've been waiting for too long.
Actually banning out that carry. Usually, I don't think we've seen a single game without a carry appearance, either a ban or a pick so far in this gauntlet. Correct me if I'm wrong, but she has been banned out, either straight up in the lobbies or completely in the drafting phase. And the one time, I think that was Kurogami versus NCZ, she was picked and she was banned out for the rest of that series. But Fred has been banned out from Shinigami here. And we can see Alias Boo might be locking that Florian. Is this gonna be a Florian in the jungle? Or is this gonna be a gold lane Grok? No, so that's gonna be a Lancelot being locked. For the last pick here, looks like we got Nero on Esme and that Melissa locked in. Okay, I guess everyone's swapping roles this game. We got Kun on the gold lane and we got Levi on the gold lane. So let's see how this game plays out.
Let's go.
Cool locking in that Irritel. Okay, looks like there's no swaps going on. This is gonna be how we're getting this game done. Alright, we're waiting for these teams to go ahead and start this game. Make sure you do like the stream, it does go a very long way. And yeah, we have Nina's Pookie on that Leomod jungle while Levi plays gold lane.
Welcome to Mobile Legends. 5 seconds till the enemy reaches the battlefield. Smash them. All troops deployed.
Looks like this is a restart request. I'm not really sure why. Is this because of the rose? I don't see any more requests. I'm not sure what's going on. Okay. I'm going to assume that was not a unanimous decision or request there, because it was only Joe and Levi did not spam. But over here in the mid lane, looks like Kun might be cut off. He does get caught by that deadly grasp and that Barrier's call, but he's able to escape. Ooh, but Nero gets caught out by that wall from Grok. That's gonna be the Phantom Execution, but Nero secures that kill onto Kun before he can fall. It looks like he's gonna be able to steal in dive that turret there. Absolution has used the Stormy ult to secure that kill onto Nero, and he will pay for that engage in the mid lane brush. Okay, right now that looks like maybe we'll secure that turtle. Nina Spooky getting caught over here in the backline, but maybe with that puncture to secure that kill. And they will immediately follow with that punish in the jungle. Oh, but Absolution actually in that bottom lane. Looks like he will get caught here by Nero and will not be able to escape. He doesn't have the flicker, and yes, he will pay for that. But over here in the top lane, that fight will not amount to anybody's dropping. Over here, Absolution engaging with that Storm ult, and it's maybe to secure that ultimate, but Nina's Spooky will suffer for that. That's the ultimate from Nero to catch on to Tree, but he gets cut off by that wall. Joe in the back line, taking that damage from Absolution, but the Phantom execution onto Anti-Pipe, but he will be able to survive that damage coming in from maybe. Absolution using that Storm ultimate. Nero able to use that sprint and escape the damage. But maybe has joined the fight. He misses that Phantom execution here. Over here in that top lane, Joe just gonna keep Levi alive. Right now we're seeing a pretty close game. Xenagouge does have a slight lead here of 1.9k gold. But it's nothing that can't be overcome. Actually seeing Levi, Nina Spooky not doing the best in that jungle right now on that 0-3-0. Levi is still deathless in this game. That looks like Rinse and alias, but we'll be putting that pressure onto Joe. He pops that Revitalize, and that's going to be the Tectonic Charge in the back line, but no follow-up as the turtle will spawn in 5 seconds. That's going to be another turtle going to maybe here. Actually, it's Rincewind that will secure that turtle, and they're going to be putting some pressure onto the mid lane. Anti-Pipe is late. He drops the Eternal Guard and looks like he's able to clear those waves in time. But over here in that top lane, that's going to be the heavy crossbow by alias Boo, but he will not be able to survive that damage coming in from Levi. But that Tectonic Charge in that back line to catch on to Levi. The minimum rage is used, and Rincewind will be the one to fall. Kun having to drop the Eternal Guard to survive here, but over there, Absolution will fall to Nero. And that top lane tower is secure for the South Shinigami. Right now, that gold lead that we saw, a 1.9k gold lead, has shrunk to about a 1k gold lead. So Shinigami is still very much in this game, despite the role swaps. But looks like over here in that back line, That's gonna be the turned rolls to survive that damage, plus the puncture. Absolution over here, and he pops that cloud ult. Looks like the gold laners will be swapping. Oh, the Lord is spawning in 15 seconds. And it looks like Nero actually playing this pretty well, applying a lot of pressure to the side of Xenagouge. Over here in the back line, Alias Boo, it will fall to that damage coming in from Nina Spooky, but that is gonna be the Terrify from Kun, but he falls to that damage from Nero. The cloud all pop by Absolution, but that minimum rage going on, and Rincewind has to flicker out of the fight. The second phase of that ult to catch on to Antipipe, and it's maybe to secure that kill. Absolution still getting hit by that minimum stomp from Joe, and Nero misses that ultimate as maybe, and Absolution will have to defend this tower alone. That's gonna be the Phantom Execution cancelled out by Joe, and the mid lane tower will fall as Nero dives into that backline. He gets hit by that cloud ult from Absolution, and it's gonna be a shutdown right before this Lord. Oh, Levi is caught out here. He manages to dash out, but he gets back in with that Cyclone. Absolution will be first to fall. The Mirror Rage will not be enough, and Rincewind will follow soon after. Maybe over here trying his best with the punctures to secure that kill onto Levi. He's only a sliver of HP, and he's going to use that Phantom Execution, but no, he does not escape. He falls to Nina's Pookie. Alias Boo popping that heavy crossbow, but he will not be able to reach that fight in time, and instead will settle for that bottom lane tower. Like Shinigami will be getting this Lord pretty easily. There's not going to be a contest. That's the cloud ult used by Absolution to catch on to Joe. The second phase catching on to Nero here. Alias Boo stacking on that damage, but Nero is still alive. He pops that sprint and looks like he's going to be able to escape. Not only escape, he does still puts that pressure onto Kyun. He's dancing around them. But that's going to be the Phantom Execution coming into the backline, but he doesn't make it. Maybe will fall, but it is Alias Boo in that backline, securing the double kill, but he will fall to Nina's Pookie. Over here, Nero in that tower taking those tower shots, but he gets caught by that cloud ult from Absolution. He's not gonna be able to escape in time, but no, he's actually is pulled back into that tower, and he does fall before that Lord crashes. So right now, I know that there's been a lot of fight, but I want to take this time to look at the items here, because Nero is tanking quite a bit of damage. And if you can see, he's actually on that support emblem, not the common emblem. So he's just taking that damage even with that enchanted talisman. Enchanted talisman. But actually noticing that Alias Boo doesn't have that anti-heal yet. So that might be a contributor to why the damage isn't really stacking, but Rincewind already with that dominance ice. Maybe the additional damage coming in from the Sea Halberd would be really crucial here. But look at maybe actually just gonna puncture out of that engage from Joe. And Innisbook is starting off with a 0-3-0 in this game. Is currently on a 4-4-5, so A drastic improvement from the first few minutes that this game started. Oh, that's gonna be Alias Boo caught by that Eternal Guard. But he's able to use the heavy crossbow out, and he will survive that safely. Rincewind having to pop that Tectonic Charge. That's going to be the Minions Rage used in the backline. But Joe, Absolution popping that Cloud out. But he will fall to that damage coming in from Levi. Maybe in that backline, getting that Phantom Execution punctures to secure the kill. He's able to dodge those skills, but no, he will still fall. And Nero over here. Looks like Alias Boo is getting caught out here by Nina's Pookie, the Barbier's Call, and Rincewind might be next. That's going to be a double ult onto 2 and a double kill for Nero.
Red team turret has been destroyed. Blue team has slain the Lord.
Shinigami have taken this Lord, and that gold lead is now in their favor at about the 4k gold lead. Nero just constantly putting pressure on the side of Xenagouge and being quite tanky with his Esmeralda. I can't remember the last time I saw Esmeralda tanky. Like, am I wrong? So right now, that's going to be the Lord crashing into that mid lane tower. But Absolution over here in that backline gets that Cloud ult. But he will not be able to connect it. While Rincewind will be solo holding this. He falls to that damage coming in from Nina's Pookie. The Lord will fall. And maybe in that backline trying to get the damage in with the puncture. But looks like they will be able to defend this Lord. And their side towers. Oh, Kun gets caught. The minimum rage doesn't have time on Nero. The taunt roll's not enough. Alias Boo has popped that heavy crossbow, but he is quite low and has to return to that fountain. Right now, it's only Absolution. He focuses on clearing those waves. He has popped that Cloud ult, and is unable to get them with that S2 stun, but that's going to be the second phase of that ultimate onto Joe. And the Tectonic Charge committed just to disengage from that fight. Right now, Xenagouge have 2 inhibitor turrets taken down. The Lord will be spawning in 13 seconds, and there's a bit of pressure in that top lane, so Absolution will be going to take care of that. Looks like they might not be contesting this Lord. Over here, Nina Spooky using that ultimate, but maybe we'll use that puncture to get out of there, as this Lord will be going to the side of Shinigami.
Slain the Lord.
Oh, looks like Kun will be the first to be targeted here, but that's gonna be anti-pipe falling to that damage coming in from Alias Boo. Joe still has that minions. Rage has been committed actually. The Tectonic charge in that backline, Absolution with that Cloud ultimate to catch on to 2, but he will get stopped by that ultimate from Levi.
Turret has been destroyed.
And that Lord still standing, but looks like it will fall. And it's a triple kill for Levi. Kun is left alone to defend, but that's a Maniac as well as the game going for Shinigami.
Victory!
GG's to both teams, and we can actually see Nero on that most damage dealt and taken for his team. Really showed through the amount of disruption that he was having in that game. But we are going into the next one. Okay, and we are back into this game. We had the Xborg, Arlots, Zushin, and Vexana banned out in the lobby phase, and in the draft phase,
Your team
looks
is
like
banned.
Xenagouge have missed their first ban.
Chivalry is dead,
Your
and
team
I
is
will
banning.
revive it.
And that Clint is coming in.
I am a daughter of
Your
Northern
team
Vale.
is banning.
I swear to protect it till my last
It looks
breath.
like Xenagouge
I am
will ban
sovereign
out
of
that
the abyss,
Freya,
Your team
the
is
slayer
picking.
of gods.
and Obsidia is banned out. Trying to limit that pool for Karma here.
Only love and
Your
night
team is
are
picking.
everlasting.
Looks like Kun will secure that Sicilian as the first pick.
Valor and royalty in a dead body.
Your team is picking.
And that's a Faramis
To live
being
is to
picked
trick
up.
the Reaper.
I believe this is the second appearance of that Faramis.
I, Minotaur, will finish off what was left undone.
Our song
Your team is
carries the
picking.
threads of fate that bind us.
And Atlantida
night
is picked up
sky
again
tells
together with
Your
Nero
team is
on
banned.
that Esmeralda. Hopefully, I would expect that Xenagouge will pick more of a heavy DPS marksman to deal with that Esme, because she was just dancing.
I've been
Your
waiting for
team
too
is
long.
banning.
And Carry, just as I said, that Carry is banned out.
Need some stitches?
As Melissa will be banned out after that performance from Levi in the previous game.
A thousand
adventure
have
starts
led to
here.
this moment.
So we're seeing that Hylos being picked up. And for the last two picks here for Xenagouge,
The hunt begins.
Let them play the hero.
Your
I
team
will be
is
the
picking.
truth this world
looks like that's
desperately
gonna be a
needs.
Ruby in the gold lane together with that Yuzhong. I'm guessing they're gonna be relying on Kun with that Sicilian pick together with that damage from Alias Boo on the Lancelots. For the last pick here, looks like Levi might be going. Is this gonna be a Beatrix, an Irritel, or Claude? Looks like this would be an Irritel pick here for Levi into that Ruby of maybe. So we're seeing a switch of roles here. Previously, it was Nina Spooky and Levi swapping that jungle for gold lane. And right now, it is maybe swapping that gold lane with Karma. So we're gonna see Karma on that Lancelot. And they do have that Nether Realm from Anti-Pipe here. There's gonna have to be a lot of consistent damage from the side of Xenagouge, which they do have in the form of Cecilion, Ruby, and Dayu Zhong. So it's gonna be a matter of who can out-sustain who in these fights. But yeah, we are getting right into it. And this time looks like that is a pause request for Shinigami, so I will be granting that. Okay, we are back in this game, and looks like those pause requests have stopped. Oh, right now looks like that's gonna be an invade into the jungle of Nina's Pookie, as Alias Boo will secure that creep and get that level 3. Tag Absolution, just playing it safe in this early game, focusing on getting those minions. But over here, Kun actually has been able to zone out Anti-Pipe from one of his minions here, because we can see that it's still on that level 2. Or maybe facing off against that Irito. Oh, looks like that's gonna be the first blood onto Joe. He gets caught by that Sanguine Claws, and right before the first turtle. Absolution securing that XP Crab and the level 4 before Nero. It looks like Alias Boo will just get started onto this turtle. Joe is back, but over here Nina's Pookie is in that bottom lane farming his creep, but looks like that's a kill onto Levi from maybe here. Usually when we see this Yu Zhong versus Esme, it's usually an infinite sustained battle, but these two aren't really clashing as much. Looks like maybe just putting that pressure. The heavy crossbow has been popped by Levi. The I am offended has been committed, but yeah, looks like maybe the Ruby still beats that Irito in the early game. But that's the Sanguine Claws plus the flicker.
Hero has been slain.
Levi will fall once again in this fight. But over here, we have that infinite sustain battle that I asked for. And Nero actually out-sustained it in this one. If we take a look at the items here. Both are yet to get their first items, but Nina's Pookie joining in that fight. Absolution still has the Way of the Dragon, but the Black Dragon form. But there's just so much pressure that is going to that bottom lane right now. Looks like Alias Bull will disengage, but he is able to secure that retribution. Joe and Nero anti-pipe popping that NetherRealm to be able to keep them alive, but maybe is going to fall to that damage coming in from Levi here. Alias Bull, but that pullback onto Wristwind. And it looks like Alias Bull will miss that taunt rolls, but he will not miss that puncture and Phantom Execution to secure that double kill as Joe manages to escape with a sliver of HP. That NetherRealm really just keeping the side of Shinigami alive in that fight. But once he was gone, that was the cue for Karma to just engage. But look like Joe will be giving attention to that gold lady here. Ooh, as Absolution actually does steal away that XP crab. But looks like that's gonna be maybe alone, but he gets the I am offended into the tower. The glorious pathway is committed to help Levi escape, but the Sanguine Claws plus the bad impacts, the revitalize will keep him alive. But that's gonna be Barbio called into the fight, the minimum fury used. But over here in the top lane, looks like they're gonna cut that wave from Nero, but he's not stressed. He has all that shield. He can dance his way out of that.
Red team hero has been slain.
Oh, but another kill onto Levi, currently on the 1-3-1. He's not having the best of games here. And looks like they're going to pressure that mid lane tower. Anti-pipe having to recall. I'm not able to defend this, but looks like Nero and Nina's Pookie will try. The sprint is committed, and Nero surviving with just a tiny bit of HP there from the taunt rolls of Alias Boo. It looks like as that mid lane tower fell, it's gonna be that bottom lane tower going as well. And Xenagouge currently with that 4k gold lead, 4.8k. No, actually a 3.8k gold lead. And it's currently they've taken 2 towers down. Looks like there's going to be another fight here, but that I am offended into the Minimum Fury. But the glorious pathway will be pivotal as they will use that to disengage from that fight as the turtle is about to spawn. Right now, they will be getting this turtle as well. I'm not sure if this is all 3 turtles going to the side of Xenagouge, but over here in that top lane, Nero and Absolution will be facing off. It looks like neither side has gotten anti-heal yet. And despite not really exchanging blows, it's Absolution that is with that level gap, a 2 level gap actually. from getting all those XP crabs. Oh, but over here, that's gonna be the minimum fury use. Kun is able to flicker out of there. That goes the nether realm. And it's gonna be a flicker plus that I am offended to secure that kill onto Levi. That'll be his fourth death in this series, but Alias Build diving in. That's the Black Dragon form plus the Petrify. But looks like that Purify will come in to keep Anti-Pipe alive. Ooh, maybe we'll miss that I am offended this time. Looks like they're gonna be pouncing onto Nero here. He is able to sustain that damage. He's targeting Kun in that back line, but Kun is able to maneuver his way into that tower range. But looks like the Sanctuary Claws will miss. Oh, but over here in that top lane, that's gonna be Absolution versus 2. He does manage to sustain all that damage, not even popping the Black Dragon form. Well, looks like they will be going for this Lord next. That's the Revitalize popped way too early, but over here, that looks like the minimum fury is committed over the Black Dragon form, but that Nether Realm will come in clutch to help them survive. Looks like Absolution versus Tree, and he will fall next. It is Karma, and he will secure that kill onto Levi. But the Taunt Rose to immune that damage, while Nero in that bottom lane just putting that pressure onto Kun. Is that Kun popping that Bast Fest? Oh, that's gonna be the I am offended onto Joe. He pops that glorious pathway to disengage in this fight. Nero is on 2. He's also getting that bad impact, but he's able to dodge and escape that taunt rose. But that's gonna be the ultimate. But the Batfest plus the I am offended will finally put him down. And Absolution will fall as well. We have 2 XP laners doing their jobs and dying for the cause. As it looks like Xenagouge will be better positioned for this Lord.
Blue team has slain the Lord.
Oh, looks like that's gonna be a pause request from the South Shinigami. So we will paused over into that pause time, but we are going back into this game right now. Hopefully with no further issues. Looks like maybe we'll get hit by that stun
Red
from
team
Joe.
turret has been destroyed.
These are those sound because will not land, but that's gonna be Barbara called for Nina's Pookie. And over here, Absolution might be cut out. He's gonna have to use that Way of the Dragon, but he doesn't get the chance. Looks like that's gonna be the minimum range. The Nether Realm is used, but it does not last, as Levi will use that heavy crossbow in the back line to deal that damage. But the Glorious Pathway coming in. Looks like that's gonna be a double kill for Alias Boo, and maybe we'll secure that kill onto Joe. The Lord hasn't even hit the tower. It just did. And maybe looks like the Sanguine Claws catching onto Anti-Pipe here, but he secures that kill onto Anti-Pipe with that flicker, and Nina's Pookie and Nero are left to defend this base alone. But Alias Boo with that Lancelot still deadless in the game on the 701. He's able to puncture out of that ultimate from Nero,
Blue team hero has been
as
slain.
this game too will go to Xenagouge, and we will be getting a game 3 in this series.
Victory!
Right now we can just see Karma with that MVP performance, and Absolution actually on the 032. He wasn't needed in this game. He performed his duties during those fights, but he wasn't needed to win it. But just yeah, currently he took the most damage for his team, and actually Alias Boo dealing more damage than Kun with that Lancelot, but we can also see Nero with the most damage dealt and taken for his team again with his Esmeralda. But this time they had an answer to it, and we're gonna look forward to the next game to see what these two teams come up with for the final game of tonight. Okay, let's get into it. This is gonna be the third game of the series. We can see that that Xborg, Vexana, Ruby, and Clint again. Clint's banned out 3 games of this series. Those are the 4 bans that we're seeing in this lobby. And SJM taking out that Zushin pick. Looks like Xenagouge will ban out that Freya.
I swear to protect it till my last breath.
I will choose my
Your
own
team
path.
is banning.
Only love and night.
And it will be Xenagouge to ban out that Sicilian actually. So they are letting Absolution on that signature Alos, and we can see both teams actually priority contesting that Minotaur. And Absolution will be the one to lock in that Esmeralda for this game. Denying Nero from his pick from the previous 2 games. And possibly countering that Lapu Lapu. But it's gonna be a Fredrin picked here. It looks like maybe we'll be returning to that jungle role. Oh, but that carry is open and Levi might just secure that pick. He has already 2 tanky heroes here. An anti-pipe locking in that YV naive. So right now, the 2 first picks from Xenagouge were quite tanky, and they've just carried 2 tank killers here with the Eve and that carry. So Xenagouge gonna wanna end this game pretty fast, but Alias Boo locking in that Obsidia pick. And maybe they're gonna go with Farsa pick here for Kun. Something with a bit of burst to take out that carry. No, actually they're gonna ban out that Sora first. And for the last pick, maybe then we'll see that Farsa ban. Or maybe a Valere ban. Yeah, they did ban out that Farsa. Just to eradicate the possibility of getting that burst. But Rincewind locking in that Estes here. Just providing that additional sustain for both of his tanky frontliners here. Nina Spooky looks like he will be going for that box here in the jungle. Because you don't want to be playing an assassin into this kind of composition. And this might be so many tank killers if they do lock in that Talmans. And they might just go with that Lapu Lapu regardless. No, looks like Nero will be going with that Yuzhong together with that Baxia in the jungle here. So the last pick here from Kun, are they gonna go with that Lilia? Maybe a Loi? Maybe of Valier? Not sure. But Aurora isn't a bad pick here. No, looks like they will actually be going with the Loi. Sorry, with that Lilia here. So although their range might be lacking a bit, they are facing that backs here and the Yuzhong, so there's gonna be plenty of opportunities to play it as an anti-dive, and Alias will be that last hit. So yeah, looking forward to this last and final game for both teams here. Xenagouge versus Shinigami. Winner takes it all, and we'll proceed to the finals. This is the semi-finals of the Gauntlet, by the way. This is the semi-final match. Shinigami versus Xenagouge. The upper bracket finals.
Welcome to Mobile Legends! 5 seconds till the enemy reaches the battlefield. Smash them! All troops deployed.
Looks like, is that a, I'm not seeing any emotes, but I'm guessing that is a pause request, so I will grant it to the side of Xenagouge. Hopefully, whatever problems have been resolved. But it looks like they will not be able to invade the jungle this time, as maybe we'll go back. Joe just providing that vision for Levi here, right from the early game to kind of block out a repeat of the last game. But ooh, looks like Absolution is quite low. Now it's actually Nina's Pookie that will be invading the jungle. And he won't be able to secure that level 4, while maybe has secured his. He doesn't quite use that Appraiser's Wrap, but that burst coming in, and it is Alia's build to secure that first kill onto Joe. Oh, looks like Nina Spooky might be cut out here. The Appraiser's Wrap coming in and securing that kill. And that'll be 2 kills for none in favor of Xenagouge. They tried to play that invade, but they got cut out. But over here, Absolution, and this time it is Nero that's having to retreat from that fight. And this looks like that first turtle will be going to the side of Xenagouge without much contest. And they follow that up by merely going for the creeps. So Nina Spooky not having the best of time, but looks like in that bottom lane there is a gank onto Karma, and he will fall to that damage coming in from Levi. Already getting that first kill early into the game. This carry is something to watch out for. She has had basically 100% show rates in this tournament. And we will be finding out the reason why. Looks like there's gonna be a lot of pressure in that top lane. But the first turtle, no, the second turtle of the game will be spawning in 30 seconds here. Maybe actually on that level 7, while Nina's Pookie is still on that level 5, so we can really see those invades playing their part here and carving out that level gap. But then there is still that carry to look out for. Because if it gets to the late game, now looks like it's anti-pipe that will get that kill onto the creep. As the next turtle has spawned. I'm not sure if they're gonna contest this, but both junglers are taking out their jungle buffs first before coming for this turtle. Well, looks like there's just gonna be a gank onto that top lane. Our Nero provides a bit of vision onto that turtle. It looks like they will call out that wave, and Karma will recall in that bush. Well, no, looks like he doesn't recall as Kun comes for some backup and he's able to clear those waves. And that's gonna be the taunt plus the ultimate from Absolution, but the minimum fury is used, the black dragon form in that backline to chase that Absolution, but he's able to outmaneuver, and that's gonna be the Appraiser's Wrath from Maybe to secure that kill. But Alias Boo not able to survive that damage coming in from the light wheel marks from Levi. An Absolution here caught out, but he's gonna be able to escape though. The heal from Estes actually comes in, but that's gonna be the black orbs to secure that kill onto Nero. Looks like that mid lane tower is gonna have some pressure be put onto it, but maybe is he lagging? No, he's just very confident. He's got his hand in his pocket and all. And that's going to be the mirror rage used, but Rincewind will fall to that damage coming in from Levi. And Kun looks like he will be next, but the black shoes is not enough to save him. And we can really see Levi on a 301 KDA, just shredding on that carry right from level 4. Oh, but look like this is going to be a gank onto Nero. He doesn't get the chance to blink out because of that ultimate coming in from Karma. And looks like they will take that bottom lane tower as well as this turtle. But over here, Shinigami will be trading that for that top lane turret.
Red team has slain the turtle. Blue team turret has been destroyed. Red team turret has been destroyed.
Over here, that's going to be a gank. Levi still able to survive, but no, he will fall to Maybe here, and that will be a killing spray. Alias Boo getting caught by that Petrify, but he's able to survive that with the help of Aegis. And Maybe just playing quite confidently, he doesn't mind. He's gonna go deep into those turrets, but looks like this mid lane tower will fall as well.
Turret has been destroyed.
And if we take a look at the builds right now, Harry has gotten that golden staff together with the corrosion shot, but that's going to be the real world manipulation to go up and take down Absolution. But that ultimate, alias Boo, not going to have enough damage, but he will secure that kill. And next is going to be Nina's Pokey. He gets caught by that taunt, but ooh, Nero surviving with a sliver of HP, and Estes keeping them alive. Right now, this really is the ultimate bonding experience. We can see Xenagouge with that Estes providing that heal, but then Nero gets caught by that taunt. He's gonna have to pop that Black Dragon form plus the Petrify, and it looks like it's maybe to fall down next to that damage coming from Levi. Rinspring trying his best with the Blessing of the Moon Goddess, but he will fall, and Absolution is unable to help his team to escape. And that fight was right before the Lord. Oh, that's going to be the minimum Fury onto the backline. Alias Boo is able to survive, and he does pop that ultimate and secures that kill onto Joe. But Nero will fall next, and that's going to be a double kill. Levi has popped that ult and is able to, but that fight will be cut out, as Xenagouge will focus on taking this Lord.
Red team has slain the Lord.
Oh, it's like he didn't walk into that bush, but that's going to be a taunt onto 2 anti-pipe, having to pop that flicker to be able to escape here. Ooh, but that's going to be a taunt under the tower,
Blue team turret has
as
been
this
destroyed.
tier 2 tower will fall.
Blue team turret has been destroyed. Blue team turret has been destroyed.
The Lord has not even reached the towers yet, but 2 holy shields have been popped. And that damage coming in from Karma right now is absolutely just shredding everyone. But that looks like that's going to be an ultimate for Absolution. But that ultimate coming in from Karma to secure that kill onto Nero. The reroll manipulation is popped, but it's still Joe that will fall down. Karma, though, maybe in the backline, actually diving in that tower to secure those kills. But ooh, that's a shutdown and legendary for Karma. He's gonna focus on anti-pipe. He has popped that Aegis, but he does not have enough damage. And this third game will go to the side of Xenagouge, as it will be a reverse sweep
Victory!
and a victory in the upper brackets semi-finals. Right, GG's to both teams. We can see actually Kun doing the most damage with that Lilia, but Karma getting the MVP performance, and Levi didn't, actually 26%, and Antipipe did the most damage, getting that MVP loss, as well as that Choco getting onto Nero. But yeah, that'll be all for tonight. We're gonna close off this game with random skin animation, and we will see you tomorrow or next on the Gauntlet stage. I'm sorry. But yeah, well, we're closing this off with a random skin animation, and we will see you next time. Don't forget to like the stream.